Attorneys for California's controller are in court trying to fight a ruling that could cost the state millions of dollars.
Now, this all stems from the state's handling of billions of dollars in unclaimed property taken from taxpayers without notice. If it sounds familiar, it should. Curtis Ming has been investigating this for some time, and we understand you've got your hands on some internal, some inside kind of documents here.
Got a memo right here. Now, we know California owes a lot of people a lot of money. Let's bring you up to date. As we've been reporting, the state for years was taking your money, stocks, and things from safety deposit boxes without your permission, calling it unclaimed property. They then sold this stuff and used the money to balance the state budget. Tonight, the court battle over returning the money is heating up. We've got this internal memo showing this could put an even bigger hole in the state budget.
The focus today was the federal courthouse in San Jose, but the issues have been described by countless property owners.
I think they're trying to keep our money.
In our case, they took 200 shares of GE stock, sold it. We've been at the same address for 34 years, but they couldn't find us.
All feel victimized by the state's seizure of their private property they were often unaware the state even had.
Let's be very clear. I share the public's outrage.
State Controller John Chung inherited the unclaimed property mess and has made a public show of trying to fix it until today. This morning's hearing was scheduled because earlier this month, a federal judge ruled the state acted improperly in handling the unclaimed property of several people who sued former Controller Steve Wesley. Legal experts say the state is worried those people will be allowed retroactive interest on their property, and that could open a floodgate for millions of dollars in new interest claims at a time the state is already hemorrhaging cash. Sacramento attorney William Palmer brought that suit.
It's unconstitutional for the state to take this interest. And remember, we're talking large amounts of money, in excess of $1 billion, probably much more than that.
We asked the Controller's office for a comment on what's going on today and to tell us what impact they think the current state budget issues will have on cleaning up the unclaimed property program. We were told there will be no comment until after a ruling on today's hearing. And the reason? This internal document we got our hands on. This November email is also part of today's court action. The Controller and Attorney General's office say it should never have been released because of attorney-client privilege. It outlines some of the nuts and bolts of the Controller's plan to contact owners of unclaimed property who the state has never notified. The memo says that is more than 6 million people. It then goes on to talk about how contacting all those people could create a significant backlog dealing with their claims. It also points out 68 new employees hired to help find the owners of unclaimed property are temporary, and they won't be able to handle everyone the state owes money to. The memo concludes the tightening budget makes further money to handle additional claims unlikely, and the backlog, quote, could linger for years. The Controller's office isn't too happy this memo was leaked. They say it was a privileged document, and attorney William Palmer should never have included it in court filings. Because he did, the state wants him removed from the case. The judge said today he is taking everything under advisement.
Nevertheless, 6 million people, what a hornet's nest.
I was going to say, what a mess. It's going to take years to sort this out.
Right. And then the interest issue. All these people, the state had their money. These people want interest. Where is this going to come from? The state's been using the money to balance the state budget. Where are they going to find this interest to pay the people back?
You know, they're pushing those propositions for those Indian gaming casinos, and that is part of the reason that Governor Schwarzenegger is backing them. So,
government's interesting,
web.
Isn't it?
Yes, interesting is a word.
Yep. If you have a consumer problem you can't solve, maybe I can call the hotline Monday through Friday, or go to CBS13.com, click on Call Curtis, and fill out the form.